Okay, well, it's so great to finally be chatting here with you. You've been so busy. You've got a very exciting year coming up. I want to go back kind of right to the beginning here with you. You're a figure skater and you were going very far with that. It surprised me reading how just like I knew you were into figure skating competitions and whatnot, but I didn't know that you were actually like you're going places with it. And you did that for a very long time. What made you switch it up into music?
Yeah, so figure skating was my whole life growing up. Like morning skate, afternoon skate, off ice, summer school, spring school. I was very devoted. When I was 14, I decided to hang up the skates and I didn't love it anymore. It felt like a job and I wanted to experience what it was like to hang out with friends for a summer, not have to go to summer school. I never really got to do that. Being like so driven at such a young age and I needed somewhere to push that drive because I'm a very competitive person. I always loved music. I always liked to sing. I always liked to write. And so when I quit, I just kind of needed somewhere else. I didn't realize I was like, wow, like now I don't have any, I don't know what to do. And so music just kind of found me and the rest is history from there. Even songwriting, like for some reason, I just like knew how to write a song. I don't know why. I don't know how. No one ever taught me, but it was just something that I just knew how to do. Looking back, I'm like, wow, I can't believe that I quit cold turkey. Cause like growing up in a small town, when you graduated high school, the skating carnival was such a big thing because you got to do like this big number and it was like such a big deal. And I'm like, I quit before I even graduated and I never did get to do like my big number. And I was like, wow, I can't believe that I did that. When I look back, like I remember at the time thinking like, wow, I can't believe I did that. But it makes sense because now, like, I found exactly what I was meant to do in life, what I'm truly passionate about. Like, I wake up and I live and breathe music and I love it. Like, I love it. I'm like, this is what I was meant to be doing. If I never would have quit, you know, maybe I never would have found music or it wouldn't have happened the way it did. So everything works out for a reason.
I love hearing about these stories. Some other artists too, when their first love wasn't singing and making music, and they came to it a little bit later.
Yeah, but I've grown so much in the last couple years. Just going back and forth to Nashville and writing with some like insane writers, like you really do grow. If you want it bad enough, you can do whatever it is. If you love it and you work hard, it can happen.
I see here you also went to school and you got a degree for audio engineering.
Did,
That's got to be
yes.
pretty helpful.
Absolutely. And again, that was so interesting because when I graduated high school, I was like, okay, I was like, I don't exactly know what I want to do. I know I want it to be something with music, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go. Kelowna was like small townish vibes, kind of close to home. It was really pretty there. And they had the audio engineering. And at the time, I had no idea even what that was. I'm like, okay. But when I was talking to the counselors at the school, they just said, well, she could record her own music. And I was like, that would be so cool. I still wasn't really sure what I was getting myself into. I had no like background or I'd never really done anything like that before. And it's so helpful in my life now and understanding what's going on, being able to communicate with my producers. Just a wonderful experience and learned a lot from it.
Yeah, I love that. Your new single, If You Show Me Yours, just came out. And before we get into chatting about that, I would love to hear some of it. If you could give us a little preview.
Of course. I wrote this little baby with Simon Clow and Chad Kroeger, and it's a beautiful, vulnerable love song about breaking down your walls for the right person.
Backseats, ballrooms, true love, hard to find. Breakups, breakdowns, must be more to life. I don't wanna live in emotional prison where hope is a capital crime. I had my walls up, you had to show up, but tear them down a brick at a time. So if you sneak a peek in a moment of weakness, just trying to see what's inside, I'll drop my cards from my chest, put my heart to the test one last time. So if you show me yours, I'll show you mine.
So you said this was co-written by Chad from Nickelback. How does a rising country artist in Kelowna get in a writing room with Chad?
Yeah, it's a very cool story. I was actually there to record some vocals with Simon Clow, also known as Kadu. I'm singing on one of his tracks. Chad happened to be there at the time because we were recording at Chad's place. And, Simon said like, hey, like be prepared. We might write with Chad. He's around. And so I was like, okay, like kind of knew it was possible. We just ended up writing in between vocal takes. Just a magical day, really. Like the stars kind of aligned.
Was this like an idea of a song that you already had written down and it came together? Or was this just completely starting from scratch?
It started from scratch. I was either in the bathroom or I was doing something, and I came into the room and we were just starting the write, and Chad was like, what do you think of the title? Like, if you show me yours, I'll show you mine. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, explain this to me. He's like your heart. And I was like, wow. I was like, that's really deep. I was like, I love that. Like, let's roll with that. But it's cool because when you hear the title, you don't think of that, right? You kind of think like, ooh, like what? To be in a room with him and watch him work how he does, it was so cool.
Learn a lot by watching. Your last single, I Don't Need a Boy, it got some recognition. You won Breakout Artist for Acadia's Broadcasting, reached top 50 at country radio with over 100,000 streams and 38.4 million views, and it's climbing. For those that don't follow you on TikTok, that song is doing well.
It's really neat to see like everybody doing the different TikToks. Like that's so cool to me, because something you like hope for when you do TikTok is to reach a bunch of different people all over the world. So it's definitely fun to go on and like kind of see like what everyone is creating with your song. TikTok is so uncertain, up and down. Like I don't really know. You don't really know how it works. It's like this big mystery, I feel. So you never really know like what's going to happen. So I'm very grateful that people picked up on that song. And it is such a fun, like a good TikTok song. So I was like hoping, like I had high hopes that it was going to do well on there.
Yeah. That song, I Don't Need a Boy, it speaks for itself. For you being a young girl and hopefully dream of a family one day and a boy in your life, what would the ideal situation be like for you? How would you like to meet a guy?
That's such a good question. And I don't know, like I want my person to be my best friend, and I want to be so comfortable around them. Sometimes like people are like friends first before they fall in love, but I don't know. Like, I mean, I think if I was to find somebody, that would be like my dream, is to just, marry my best friend, someone that I'm comfortable with, someone that I can talk to them about anything, that lifts me up, that pushes me to do better, to be a better person. Your relationship should be solid so that you can put your energy into everything else. You know what I mean? Like it should be like the pillar.
Naturally would be nice and just kind of falls into place. And
yeah.
So tell me, what are some of your icks?
There's probably so many, but I think someone that's just like really conceited and not like confident, because I love confidence in guys. Confidence is great, but someone who's just like all about themselves. I think that if a guy like really likes you, he'll put in the effort to like show you, put you first and do things for you. It's attractive to see a guy actually put in some effort for you to show that he truly cares about you. Icks, like games. I really don't like games.
I'm not tolerating any of that anymore.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider dating a musician?
Yes. Oh my God, they're my weakness. I just like I love music so much.
Tell me, like, don't date a musician. I'm like, but it's
so hard because they're just. Ever since I was in high school, like I've always been attracted to like the band guys. Music is like my heart and my soul. And so when you have another person out there that is so passionate about the same thing that you are, and you can talk about it, and it's hard not to be attracted to somebody like that. But that being said too, like I think like I'm drawn to people who are just passionate about anything. It's nice for music because it's something we can talk about. To me, there's nothing more sexy than somebody who is passionate about something and puts everything into it and has drive, because then it makes me want to. But you know what I mean?
For sure. I was actually just thinking too, maybe not necessarily like musician would be fun and all ups and downs that go with that, but also somebody that's like a producer, engineer, audio engineer, like Martina McBride and her husband. It's working out just great for them. He's got his studio and everything, right?
You never know. And I don't even think I have a type. Like I just, sometimes when you have that connection, you have it. You never know. Sometimes I think like, will I meet my husband at the grocery store? Will I meet him? Like, you just don't know. You don't
I should
know.
probably look a little bit more attractive when I go to the grocery store. It's like this like meme that comes up like the older you get, the less you care about your appearance going out to run errands.
I know. My mom always gives me crap because I literally like to just go out in sweatpants and just looking like a mess. And my mom's like, shouldn't you like look nice when you go out and like the industry that you're in case you see people?" I'm like, no, they don't
Exactly.
care. They don't know who I am. Like, it's
Yeah,
fine. She's like,
exactly.
eh.
Exactly. I've been hearing a lot about artists and other people, some friends talking about manifestation and using vision boards and stuff like that. Is that something that you practice at all?
Absolutely. I love that you brought this up because I've been using it a lot lately. I watched this girl on TikTok say how when she wakes up in the morning, she's not a morning person, but she like jumps out of bed, puts a smile on her face, and says out loud all the things that she's grateful for that day as if it's already happened. She's like, I have the best days and it comes true. So I've been doing that lately and it's been working. Like I usually attract everything that I like, that I say that I want that day. So you should definitely try that. It's been working for me. But even like Boots and Hearts, I made a graphic when the lineup came out. I took a screenshot, made my own little graphic. I put my name underneath Nickelback and Hardy's name. I'm like, I want to play on this day. And I looked at that graphic and like 2 weeks later, I ended up getting told that I was playing Boots and Hearts on the Friday. And when the graphic came out, I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is literally the graphic I made. It was just insane how it works. And I've done that a couple times. There's Boots and Hearts and then the Apple Music playlist. I wanted to be on the Apple Music playlist for Canada's Country so bad. And I just like, I manifested it. I was waking up in the morning and I was saying like, oh, I'm so happy and grateful that I'm like this week's cover girl for Canada's Country. And I like believed it and it happened. I was like, whoa. I was like, it's so I really do believe in manifestation. I mean, you got to work your butt off too. You can't just like sit on your butt and be like, hey, like I want this to happen. Like it has to be like, you have to work hard, you have to try, and you have to believe it. It all kind of comes as one. So
You have a good sense of direction,
mhm.
what you want. So you mentioned Boots and Hearts coming up. I know you're also playing Cavendish and the Calgary Stampede. Have you performed to a big audience like that before?
Last year was probably where I started to play more like big stages with bands. Before that, it was more just around Kelowna. This is like a big year for me for coming out and playing to like big crowds. And I cannot wait because I am like a born and bred performer. Like I love performing. These will definitely be the biggest shows I've played for sure. So I'm super excited. Like I did a couple festivals last year. I have like an idea of what to expect and like how it works and stuff because it's a whole new ballpark when you're playing festivals. I was getting myself together last year in preparation. Like so now this year I'm just like I'm ready to rock this.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you at Boots. I know you're a fashion girly, and with festivals comes some opportunities to wear some great clothes. Do you have any of your outfits picked out?
I actually do. I've been online shopping. Like I love to shop. I love online shopping. And so I definitely have some really fun, funky outfits coming up for my festivals. Who knows, things might change by then, but as of now, I've definitely been like
You're a
uh
planner.
oh, I am a planner, but things change too. Something comes about and you're like, "Oh, I want to wear this instead." But like I just bought like a couple really cool little jackets. Like I love the fringe and the sparkle and
Yeah.
changing it up too. I'm never like set on like one sort of like certain thing. Like I like to change it up. I swear I'm like a different person every day. It's so funny. But I have some really fun outfits planned. Yes.
Looking forward to that. Before I let you go here, you're also one of the 8 finalists for this year's Sirius XM's Top of the Country. That is really exciting. I've been following that competition now for a couple of years. It's one of my favorite days during CCMA week.
My first CCMAs was a couple years ago in London. And the first event that I walked into was Top of the Country. And I just remember being like, this is so cool. Like, what an incredible opportunity for emerging artists. I was just like, I hope I could do this next year or whenever. Like, it was a manifestation thing. I was like, I want to be doing this. Now, here I am doing it. So, again, that back to that manifestation, it's a real thing and it really does work. Yeah, getting the call for that was just like, oh my God, like, running around my house, jumping up and down, so excited. And I'm so happy that I get to be a part of it.
Yeah, I'll be rooting for you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Looking forward to seeing all the fun stuff that you've got coming up and seeing you hopefully before Boots and Hearts. But if not, then we'll catch up then.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you so much for having me.